Greetings, football fans. Welcome to another episode of BallChat Podcast, the weekly soccer show or football show discussing the weekend football. I'm your host, Benton, along with my family. Junior, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good and everything good.
I'm doing well, doing well. And come on, how are you doing? Another part of the BallChat family. How are you doing?
I'm good.
And,
We're good, we're good.
And online, we always want to incorporate different opinions, and today is no different. We have a person who plays ball professionally, Mr. Alex Franks himself, who plays for the Atlanta SC. Alex, how are you doing? Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Hello, guys. It's a pleasure.
A lot of us aspire to play professional football, but you actually do it for a living.
Yeah.
So football fans, as usual, we're going to review the weeks preceding in football. But before we get into the things that happened or occurred during the week, we want to talk to Alex, try to get some opinions from Alex how to make it in the sport and how he actually got to where he is. So, Alex, how about you give football fans some idea, breakdown of who Alex Frank is? What attracted you to the sport, and and so forth.
Yeah, sure. So just to give a little introduction of myself, I'm 24 years old. I'm from France. I've been playing there for a long time of my young career, and then I decided to move here in the US. Long story short, to what give me the motivation and dream of becoming a professional is kind of a funny story. But I was watching football with my father on TV, and I was 5 years old, and I told him, I say, Dad, I want to be like them. I want to be on TV too. And he laughed, and I say, can I? And he was like, yeah, but it's not easy. And I said, what do I have to do? He said, well, you have to start playing for a club here and then make it all the way to the top. And I figured that all this way wasn't easy at all. So yeah, I left home when I was 13 years old for football. I went to a football academy. So I never dropped school. I really wanted to keep school because we never know what happened in soccer. And if I can give advice to any young player who listen to this podcast, never drop school and try to manage to play soccer while still studying. It was a tough challenge for me, and obviously the academy helped me to reach that. And he allowed me to sign for AS Monaco. So I don't know if you guys know, it's a League One club in France.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, really good club, and I was there until 21 years old, and obviously it start to get old to sign your first professional contract, and you know how tough the competition is in France, how many good players there is and everything. So I had this opportunity to come here in the US, and I took it because I could continue play soccer and keep chasing my dream of becoming professional, achieving a master's degree in business and learning and speaking English fluently, because it wasn't the case before, even if you can still hear my strong accent. So yeah, basically I played 2 years in college and always had this desire and motivation and this goal in my head that I want to make it whatever way. I played semi-pro in the US 2 summers in a row in USL2, and you know, when you never give up and you keep working, you're gonna have opportunity. And I had one with Atlanta SC who offered me the chance to come for a week of trial in preseason. Right. And I ended up signing my first professional contract at 24 years old, which is not usual. And you know, it's not my end goal, but it's obviously a really good satisfaction for me. I've been through a lot, and signing this first professional contract and reach this first step means a lot to me, and give me even more motivation to go higher.
Yeah. Junior, we both aspire to be professional footballers, but we're
At
too
a
old.
very early age.
At a very early age.
Very, very early
And
age.
come on, we know so you aspire to play for Jamaica too. Yeah, well, let's get questions to Alex because this is probably the closest we'll get to a professional footballer.
So Alex, I have one question. For young players that are out there, I like you gave the advice that to keep school, be motivated, stay in school, and always have that thing to fall back on, which is your education for life. But then, tell a young footballer that is watching right now. Tell them about your first time when you knew. 'Cause we all want to be professional footballers, but so many of us, 99% of us, don't recognize that dream. When was it that you realized that, okay, yes, now I am a professional footballer?
I would say that, when I was like younger and I was looking and watching TV and everything, like football, I was like, oh my God, like I wish I could wake up in the morning, go practice, go back home, and then, just have the rest of your day to enjoy with family and friends and, just live of this passion, which is football.
Right.
And even though I wasn't pro, I was always like practicing every day. But I was still at school or at work, or there's always something that I was feeling like I wasn't professional and I wasn't. And I really felt, like you said, I was and I am a professional when I wake up in the morning, I drive to practice and I come back and, you take care of your body, you go to the gym, you go to recovery. Like you have a lifestyle of a professional, and that's a big change in my life, and I really like enjoy it because it won't last forever, and as you said, 99% of us don't make it or didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I realized the chance I have to be in this position, and as I said, it's just the first step. It's a stepping stone to go higher, and I won't stop here. So
And for those
always be thankful for what you have.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And we're talking to Alex Frank, Atlanta FC.
Atlanta
Football,
SC is
For all the new listeners, big up Marco, big up Kofi, big up Kim.
Big up Kofi. I'm sorry for calling you Coffee these other weeks, but big up Kofi. I see your family. Marco Pratt, I see you giving your ballers. Come on, and Bugs. Marco Pratt, save those ballers and Bugs for next week. Come on. Anything you have to ask Alex Frank, the Atlanta SC player?
Yeah, Alex. How difficult a decision was it to leave from France and come to the US to continue your football career?
That's a good question. Actually, it's not the first time that I get asked. So as I said before, I left home, my parents' home at 13 years old, which is a pretty young age, and it was for football. And since this age, I was autonomous, and it doesn't mean that I don't miss my family and everything, but I learned how to live by myself really young. So maybe I got this maturity in life earlier than other people. And the fact to leave France to keep chasing my dream wasn't even a bother for me. And when you have your family pushing you to go and make it, it makes it easier. And I had the chance to have my parents, my father, my mother, my brothers, all my family always be behind me for soccer, believe in me, and that I wouldn't be here without them because they did literally everything since I'm young. And obviously, like it's not easy to be 1,000 miles from home, and you miss everything, but you have to make sacrifices to make it. So
Yeah.
as I say, I'm thankful for that, and I'm going home for the Christmas break, so I'll have a opportunity to see them.
So you get to spend time with the family. You get to spend time.
Yeah.
Football fans, listen to us on Facebook or YouTube. If you have any questions for Alex Frank, Atlanta Soccer Club player, or about being a professional soccer player, just send them on. Marco Pratt, I see you. I see you have your bugs of the week. Lukaku and Zlatan and Gabriel Jesus. Even with off weeks, Marco Pratt has bug of the week. But Alex, before we even get our segue to other parts of our show, you are someone who holds an MBA, which is quite rare for footballers. You know, a lot of footballers don't have a first degree much less to have an advanced degree.
At 24.
At 24. Do you see yourself moving into the business side of the sport once you've hanged those cleats up? I know that's farther down the road, but, you know, getting a business degree, do you think that's something that you look to get into, the business side of the sport?
Yes, and it is actually a goal because, you know, you don't play football your whole life. And even if it's not, I hope it's not tomorrow, it will come soon. So having this master's degree and speaking several languages, because I'm speaking also Spanish, French, and English.
Yeah.
And that opens me door and make me realize how big is the business world, especially with technology growing up lately. And yeah, it's in my mind that I want to do something in business, and why not in the sport industry and football industry. If I could join business and passion and live off football my whole life, I would be the happiest.
Yeah. And so before we get segue to other parts of the show, because we know you have opinions on other parts, other things in football, give us your quick view on your year in Atlanta, playing for the Atlanta SC, the year that you guys had, and what do you look forward to the coming year, the overview of the year. I know I saw the game against Miami FC, and that was a very good football game, but overview of the year and your expectation for the year going forward, the next year.
Yeah, to make it short, it was a league with different teams. Some teams that were playing together for several years, and you know they know each other and they're solid. And new teams, like new clubs like Atlanta SC with new players, and we had to know how to play together in only like 2 weeks. We felt the struggle. We're not gonna lie, and it was hard at the beginning, but we had this facility to make it work and get this first huge result against Miami after only 2 weeks of practicing together. So yeah, we were really proud of this, and obviously we didn't finish the season as we wanted, because we wanted to go to get this Eastern Championship. We fell short. As I told you when you came watch the game, it's only the beginning, and I'm really confident about the future. The base of the team is created now, and some recruitment will be done for January. More teams will join the league. It's going to be longer, more competitive. So I'm really excited and confident about what's coming up next.
Yeah, really excited. All right, so Alex, you know, BallChat will be there live to watch the games, because where football is playing.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to seeing you play. And as a midfielder, you know, we're a big fan of midfielders on the show. So
Yes, sir.
big fan of midfielders. All right, so try to get on some other news that happened this week and try to get your views on it. Come on, European qualifiers took the center stage in football this week, in European football. France, England, and the big dogs made it. But in that English dressing room, there was a bust-up or argument or some fight that occurred between Raheem Sterling and Joe Gomez. Do you think that was overblown by Southgate and staff?
In my opinion, it was, because, and actually I had an English roommate, so I talked about it with him. I don't think that it's something that should have exploded like it did, and he created problem where it shouldn't be. You know, like at the end of the day, they didn't lose, but they punished Sterling for one game, which is for me their best player. And I don't know if you saw, but the English fans were booing Joe Gomez.
Yes, they did.
And at the beginning and at the end of the day, they're still friends. You know, everything happened on the field. You know, you can have a fight, you can have some bad words, and after the game, you shake hands and everything come back to like reality. I think he made too much noise, in my opinion, because he wasn't necessary. And hopefully it will be better in the next few weeks. For Sterling, for Joe Gomez, and for England.
For England. And this is the fan of France that's saying this. But come on, come on. Let's get your opinion on this. This boss up between Joe Gomez and Raheem Sterling. And you think it was overblown? Come on.
Yeah, I agree with Alex. It was something that should have been handled in-house. And I get that Southgate wants to set an example, but he could have punished Sterling, outside of the public. I do believe that if it was a stronger opponent, that he would not have suspended his best player for one game. He wouldn't have done that. I mean, because he doesn't want to lose.
Yeah.
The English fans, I think they're just classless because at the end of the day, even though they play for different Premier League clubs, they play for England. So, I mean, like their teammates, they play for your country. So you're supposed to, cheer for everybody. But yeah, I think it was overblown. Raheem was in the wrong. I mean, you never put your hands around a teammate's throat. That's abuse. If you had a regular job, I mean, you probably would have been fired. But I do get it. But I think Southgate handled it poorly, and I hope he learns from it.
Yeah, hopefully. So, Junior, the Liverpool fans watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, they're labeling Raheem Sterling the bug of the week. At least one Liverpool fan. Junior, you don't think this is worth Raheem Sterling being labeled badly? He apologized for this thing and really kind of settled the stuff, right?
Gareth Southgate is an experienced manager, right? He has been around the block. I remember when he was a coach at Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
So he's been coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
I question what really happened in that locker room.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if we are getting the full story. Because his reaction is quite shocking. His reaction to me to one, make this be public.
Yeah.
Because we would have never known about this if Southgate did not react the way he did.
Okay.
So to make it public is one. And two, to tell the player, to kick the player off, one player off because of this. It brings into question what really... I am curious to know what happened in that locker room because it feels like Sterling doesn't have any friends in the locker room.
Okay.
Because if you're Southgate and you are put into a position where two players are fighting, and you tell one to go and keep the other one, you should tell both players to leave and figure this out and come back.
But I think
exactly what I asked my friend.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But to be honest though, I do think that the Daily Mail, they posted, they wrote an article about it before Southgate did anything or said anything. And so it was leaked to the media, and the media, it was out there before Southgate did what he was supposed to do.
But again, was the Daily Mail in the locker room, or did somebody tell the Daily Mail?
Somebody told the Daily. You know how it is. Somebody leaked the information because you might be right. I mean, the way how I don't know, Raheem. If you even realize that when Raheem Sterling scores a goal or somebody else scores a goal, it's not the same as when Harry Kane scores a goal and he does. You can see that there's tension. I don't know. Maybe Raheem is a troublemaker. Maybe he's an instigator. We don't know, but something's not right in the locker room. And you're correct. He should have sent home Gomez or suspended Gomez and Sterling for the one game. Not choose one because they both reacted.
Okay. All right. So now to get to football on the field and get away from that discussion, we'll see England defeated Kosovo. They're definitely into the Euro 2020 qualifiers, but competition. Alex, France, your team, cemented. They defeated Albania today, but they already qualify. What do you expect from this French team going into? Is this another trophy that you guys are going to lift? You guys won the World Cup. But it's also good to see Netherlands back on the global stage again. Your thoughts on the teams that have made it thus far and potential who might be the winners going forward? I know it's early. Alex.
It's early, as you said, and I would lie if I said I don't believe that we can win this European Cup.
Yeah.
I think even our third team would be able to win it. There's so much potential.
France is that good.
Serious.
Third team.
I'm serious. And no, third team maybe it's too much, but second team definitely. And And no, you know, like we won the World Cup, and that's a huge thing. And I feel that win two major competition back to back is something really hard. And even though you have the best or one of the best team on the paper, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You have to keep your head cold and you know get the work done. Because you can have the best player on the field, but if there's no the right mentality and everything, you can not even get to the through the group stage. So
yeah.
so we'll see. But obviously I'm confident and excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So quick question for you, Alex. So what do you think about the Benzema issue? I mean, should he be allowed to represent France again?
Okay, so this is a huge problem in France, and especially right now. And I was about to compare this Sterling situation to Benzema in France. It's not the same importance, but in my opinion, every people has their own opinion about this in France. But my opinion is Benzema should play for the national team, since he is our best player and best forward for many years now. It was like there is some problem that happened, and we will never know exactly because we're not close enough. But Didier Deschamps has his reasons to don't choose him, and I don't know if you saw. I think it was yesterday that the president said that Benzema will never play again for France, and Benzema said, "You are not the one who's gonna decide for me. I will decide when I end up and everything." And I feel bad for him because he went through a lot of things, and at the end of the day, he played 10 years in one of the best clubs in the world, and he was a starter and scored so many goals. And even though we have other good players like Mbappe and all of them, the fact that we miss him is annoying for a person like me who like him, because maybe we would have won 2 World Cups, you know?
Yeah.
So, no.
So, Alex, I got a question from online from Marco Pratt. Marco is asking, who is the most famous player you have ever played with or against?
Say again, sorry?
Who is the most famous player you've ever played with or against?
Anthony Martial from Manchester United.
Martial,
I played against him when he was in France still, and he's the one who surprised me the most. He was already too good for us.
Yeah. But sorry, Junior, I have one follow-up question. Do you think Martial is meeting his potential at United?
Do you think what?
Is he reaching his potential at United? Anthony Martial.
I think he was a few years ago. He's not at his best right now, but he showed that he can be a top world-class player. And I wasn't surprised when I saw him go from Monaco, Lyon, and going to Manchester United. But I was expecting even more. Like I was expecting, like Mbappe he's doing right now. I was expecting this.
Oh really?
And yeah, because first time I've met Mbappe in Monaco. Yeah. I didn't know who was this person. I was with a friend and he was like, "Oh, that's Kylian Mbappe." And 6 months after, literally, he was scoring goals against Manchester City and everything in Champions League. So you know how football goes fast like this, and you never know. And when I played against Martial, we were still young. He was under 17, I think. So
yeah.
So yeah.
You're good. We know you're in transit, so that's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's good. No, I'm trying to avoid noise around me.
No, you're good. You're good.
So you, Marco Pratt, you heard the answer to your question. Anthony Martial is the most famous player that he played against and organized with at Monaco. VAR, let's kind of hit some other stuff that happened this week in the news. VAR, come on, update to the VAR is coming from the English Premier League. It's been a big controversy in the EPL, the Premier League, and its usage. They're can you overview what exactly will happen with VAR coming down the pipe? Come on.
Really, they're talking about consistency. They're saying that they need to work on it being consistent and taking less time to be reviewed. Now they're saying, and this is so stupid. They're saying instead of showing just VAR check, what they're going to show is VAR check and tell you what they're checking for, like penalty, handball, potential red card. So they're going to give the stadium more information, but they're not letting the audience see what they're actually looking at until they complete it. That's the only change that they've done.
Okay, so they want to improve consistency and increase the communication between the fans and the stand, and also try to expedite the process or make it a lot better. Essentially, we'll see what will happen. There's been a lot of issues with VAR. And for those of you just joining us on Facebook and YouTube, we're talking to Alex Frank, Atlanta's SCU owned midfield maestro, Alex Frank. Alex, your thoughts on VAR thus far in usage in the EPL or anywhere that, do you think it's good for the game? Do you think it's something that needs improvement in the EPL, in the English Premier League, and thus far, do you think it's also good for the game?
In my opinion, it's good for the game if it's improved a little bit. Like Cameron said, she said it right. They need to be quicker. I mean, with all the technology we have today, you don't need 5 minutes to decide if it's a penalty kick or not.
Yeah.
You have six referees, I think, in the VAR room, plus the 4 or 5 referees on the field. And if I can refer to the game Liverpool-Man City, where there is 2 clear handballs from Alexander Arnold, Junior.
Do not get the Liverpool fans upset, Alex.
I'm not a City fan, I promise. But when you see there is 2 clear handballs and review by the VAR, you lose 10 minutes to review it, and at the end, not calling PK for at least one of them. I think it was 4 and need to be improved. But I really think that it's a good idea for football because we saw in the last 10 years so many and huge mistakes that really changed whole games.
Yeah.
I can mention Thierry Henry with the handball against Ireland.
It's Ireland that took France to
yes. I'm trying to be fair for everyone. We qualified to the European Cup after this handball, and with the VAR it would have never happened. So there is good and bad, but I mean, it's only the beginning, and we'll get there.
Yeah. So big up to Dalton. Big up to El Pistolero saying up. Mikhail Ace says big up yourself, family. Marco Pratt. Marco Pratt says, Alex, I was with you up until then. Careful, Alex. These are Liverpool fans, by the way, Alex. Dalton said, Alex, I was with you until now. And Marco Pratt says, be careful, Alex. These are all Liverpool fans that are warning you here about this penalty stuff.
I'm not going to say who I'm supporting them.
Yes, he says, just when I was about to follow you on Instagram, then you made that comment. The Liverpool fans are upset. All right, Alex, we also want to get your thoughts on Thierry Henry, a guy who was at Monaco. You've been in Monaco setup, in Atlanta. He's now coach. It was appointed coach of Montreal Impact. Your thoughts on disappointment? There are those of us who said, how does big, bad Thierry Henry, legendary player, and should get a better coaching job somewhere in Europe? Your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, Thierry Henry is one of the players who made me love football, and I didn't want to say, and I paid the consequences, but I'm an Arsenal fan. So.
Okay, now the Liverpool fans are even going to go worse than you. Don't say that, Alex.
No, I have to be honest.
Yes.
And I'm going through a lot recently. So be nice with me.
Yeah, we will. Liverpool fans here, be nice. He's an Arsenal fan.
You guys gonna be champion. It's okay. So yeah, I really I was a big fan of him as a player, and he made me love football. He obviously played for Arsenal, for Monaco. He's a legend for the French football, and he had a difficult starting career as a coach in Monaco, and I'm not sure, and I don't think it was 100% because of him, because he arrived when the situation was complicated in Monaco. You know, they just the year before they were champion, and they have to maintain this high level, which was complicated. But in my opinion, like, try to get another opportunity in MLS is really good, because football here, I mean, soccer is improving a lot, and bringing big name like Thierry Henry is good for the country, for the MLS, and for the football here. But it's also good for him to start his young coach career at this level, and then maybe move on and go back to Europe later.
Yeah, so build his resume. Come on, your thoughts on the Thierry Henry being hired at Montreal Impact? Some of us feel very strongly about this. Your thoughts, come on.
Yes, very strongly. I'm not a fan. He spent 104 days at Monaco before he got fired. He had the most and the worst things to say when he was a pundit about coaches. And then when he finally got the job, he could not cut it, right? I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna see what happens, because Montreal, they don't have a good roster. They have maybe 2 good players. They have Sanya, I think his name is Bakre Sanya.
Yeah.
He's 36, and they have Piatti, who is 34. Those are the 2 stars. So he doesn't have a good roster. So I am going to bet that Henry probably lasts 210 days in MLS.
Stop. I mean, but the idea though, Junior, Camon said he lasted 110 days at Monaco. This is a legendary Thierry Henry. He's a player that we have in total high regard on BallChat. So, and in any space if you love football. 110 days at Monaco, it was a difficult job.
104.
104 days.
Extra days.
Sorry, thanks, Camon. 104 days. Junior, he should bring new players to that Montreal outfit, right?
We had a spirited off-the-air conversation about this in our WhatsApp group. Big up Mikhail saying that he have to start somewhere. That's fine.
I agree, Mikhail. He has to start somewhere.
I'm going to
But what was Monaco?
It wasn't somewhere. Let's go back to
Monaco was somewhere over the rainbow. Now he's in the real world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just real quick, tell me an MLS coach that started out and is coaching somewhere of substance right now that is not in the MLS.
All right.
March.
So, Just March is now RB Leipzig. So what do you define as somewhere at RB Salzburg? What do you define as somewhere as substance?
Somewhere substance. Just anywhere that is better than the MLS.
So he's playing Champions League. Jeff March is playing Champions League football.
Okay, and I stand corrected. That's one of many coaches. But
Patrick Vieira is coaching at Nice.
Patrick Vieira, no.
So
sorry.
He's not somewhere substance?
No. Patrick Vieira is...
I think he started with the youth in City, no?
Yeah, but he was coaching in
New York City FC.
Yeah, he was coaching New York City FC.
This is my thing with Henry. If this is really an opportunity for you to grow as a coach and to go coach at a better team, why not coach a second division team in England? Beat our first division team. You stand to gain a lot more credibility as a coach if you coach a bug side in England and win an FA Cup game against Manchester United than coaching in Montreal that you know you're not winning the MLS for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You stand a better chance of getting fired from Montreal before you win anything of substance in the MLS. So what?
I agree, Jonah. So I agree.
Yes, what are you doing?
He's a French legend. You're going to tell me that he couldn't find a second division team in France to coach?
Yeah.
Versus come to cold Montreal. Montreal has not done well in MLS for a very long time. Maybe
but you know what's the problem?
As a project. Mm-hmm.
The problem is not all good players or good coaches. And Thierry Henry started in Monaco because of his, obviously, image. And maybe he's just not a good coach, you know?
Yeah.
So we don't know that. It's too
Yes,
early.
this is true.
And
No,
we'll see. I think Montreal is a good test.
Yeah, so you will
But
see.
Alex, I agree, because my stance has always been, not because you're a good footballer or you were a good footballer makes you a good coach. I stand corrected with Lampard, because Lampard it's kind of like Lampard and Steven Gerrard, they're kind of proving me wrong a little bit. But I still think that not because you're a good player like Ben also for DC United. He knows nothing about coaching, but he was a good enough player in MLS. So so maybe Henry is getting the opportunity because he's a legend. I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly.
But then,
And yeah, exactly. Yeah.
but then the other side of the coin right now for me is Thierry Henry is coaching in a league where he is bigger than the league. His name recognition is bigger than MLS.
Exactly.
You forget about coaching. I'm not talking about coaching. I'm talking about personality. I'm talking about
His image.
His image. His image is bigger than the league is
But-
coaching
so, but-
in. You are setting yourself up for sure failure. There's nothing you can gain out of it.
But here is the deal, and we have to look at some of the facts. Henry, there was rumors that maybe Henry probably, if he waited, he could have gotten the New York Red Bulls job. I mean, he was a legend. He's a legend at New York Red Bulls. Did exceptionally well for them. But, I mean, he's found a diverse community in Montreal. He speaks French. He can definitely attract the French players to Montreal. So Remy Gard was there. So it's not like Montreal is not having tried to do stuff right. Thierry Henry, it's a huge step to try to, build a resume, and he could fail miserable. But he could also, to me, the metrics of success for Thierry Henry in Montreal is not to win MLS Cup. It's to make them a competitive outfit and hopefully get to the MLS playoff.
Do you think Montreal brass sign off on that? What do you think? What that Thierry Henry's goal? What is Montreal impact?
And that's something that they will have to figure out in those negotiations, because I'm sure Thierry Henry going to a Montreal, I would presume that going to a Montreal, he should be able to negotiate or determine his rules of engagement going into Montreal.
You would think.
He's a legendary player. I mean, all right.
How long
yes.
was his contract again? Was it 3 years?
2 year with an option for further.
Okay.
2 year with an option for further. Let's see. And like Alex says, maybe he's not a good coach, but we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It's too early.
We don't know yet.
But so far he's not a good coach.
So far he is, but that Monaco job when he took over from Ledar Jardem was a difficult task to try to to raise that team from the bottom of the table. Segueing from Thierry Henry and try to hit some more other news in football this week.
And Dalton said he's with Alex on that. Look at Ole. Whatever.
Okay, Dalton, Liverpool fan. Try to hit some other major news. As we're pushing close on time. The U17 World Cup final is currently going on between Mexico and Brazil. Alex, who you got? Your thoughts on the U17 tournament, and who do you think?
France. No, I'm joking.
France lost a very feisty and close matchup against Brazil. It was painful watching that.
No, it's gonna be. I don't really have opinion about this game. It's gonna be really tough and actually good to watch. And it's nice to see that youth football start to become a bit more popular because. I watched, what's the game I watched the other day? Netherlands against, I forgot. And it was actually really nice to watch.
Netherlands against Mexico? Was that the other semi-final game?
No, it was the game before that.
Okay, it was the game before that.
I think it was quarterfinal or something.
Okay.
And it's really nice to see that kids of 15, 16 years old are doing stuff that are done at the best level. You also can see young talents earlier, and I'm taking the example of this midfield from Netherlands, Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
He has a big image of on social media already.
Yeah.
And I think the players like him deserve to be seen by more people than they do. And I'm looking forward to watch this final and see what will happen.
It's currently 0-0.
What if he's DVRing it?
Excuse me.
No, don't say come on. We don't know if Alex is DVRing it.
No, as soon as you talk, Benton, you saw it. Oh my Lord!
Yeah, Mexico,
Listen,
Brazil scored.
Mexico scored. Sorry,
Mexico.
but I'm gonna tell you. So France came third. They beat Netherlands 3-1,
Yeah.
and you have the PSG U17 player. What's his name? Muinga
Yes.
scored a hat trick. Was an
Wow.
exceptional game from him. And then now I'm watching the U17 Mexico and Brazil. Brazil is actually playing good football. I'm telling you, the goalkeeper for Mexico is not U16. He has a full mustache and a full beard.
Bring the evidence. Bring the evidence. Come on. These are some grown men playing football. All right. As we try to wrap up our show and get to some preview segments as football returns, club football returns next weekend.
But before that, Mikhail said something that was key, just to put a bow on the coaching conversation. He said he thinks people should look to realize that great coaches were poor in the beginning. I think the access of fans through the media is what impacts the movement of coach.
Okay, Mikhail. All right, let's preview and set up a couple games coming on the pipe. Big football game. Flamengo versus River Plate. Copa Libertadores final 2019. River Plate runs in for their fifth elder Brazilian family. I see you as the Flamengo family. Get ready. Alex, your thoughts on this game? I mean, Barbosa has been scoring goals like crazy for Flamengo. And I mean, but River Plate is kind of
I have to go for Flamengo for that one. My coaching staff in Atlanta is all Brazilian, and
it's all about Flamengo.
Yeah, and you know, Boca River, I've always supporting Boca, so I'll definitely go for Flamengo for that one.
So we have an anti-River Plate movement from Alex. Come on. Flamengo defeated Grêmio 1-0 today. They're leading the Brasileiro Serie A. Your thoughts on this matchup? River Plate is the defending champions. By the way, the game was moved from Chile, Santiago to Chile to Peru. Of course, we have some clashes and some demonstration in Chile. Peru is have 2 weeks to prepare for the game. Your thoughts on this? Is this where Flamengo win their second Copa Libertadores? Last time they won was 1981.
Nope, they're not winning. They're definitely not winning, and they're not winning. So you can put that to rest. But just to touch on fans, I'm like, when are they going to implement a system to control the fans? It's terrible. I mean, I'm going to say it's just a game, but they take it to a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the fans have entered the game for next week, the Copa Libertadores final. They're banning glasses, they're banning hats, they're having breathalyzer tests at the entrance of the stadium.
Oh my God.
This is football, Junior. I'm ready.
South
American football. I'm excited.
It's unfortunate because that's what makes football beautiful.
Yes.
The atmosphere, the fan. When you look Boca Junior, River Plate is. Yeah. You're watching the game almost for the atmosphere, you know, and problem like that shouldn't happen.
Shouldn't happen. Junior, Rafael Borre of River Plate is the leading goal scorer for them. Scored 7 goals.
Care.
You don't care. Do you think Flamengo will win this game?
Flamengo.
Because you're a Brazilian in
I'm
heart.
a Brazilian fan. Camon is an Argentinian at heart. That's why she hated Brazil, so that's fine.
Camon is Argentinian at heart. This is why she hating on the Brazilian.
She's over there waving the Mexican flag right now.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. So that's next Saturday. BallChat will be tweeting live in that game. Elder and family, hopefully we get to visit that game and give us some live updates. But Flamengo versus River Plate next Saturday. Segueing from another game. And not to segue to another game, Chelsea in the English Premier League, the big matchup in Europe next Sunday. Chelsea visit Manchester City. Manchester City defeated them 6-0 last year. But this is a different Man City outfit. Junior, your thoughts?
Bring forth the sacrificial lamb.
So this is going to be a sacrificial lamb as in Chelsea. It's going to be sacrificed.
No, Chelsea's going to beat City. It's going to be a draw game.
It's going to be a draw game.
I think it's going to be a boring draw game.
Okay, boring draw game.
Yeah.
Alex, your thoughts on this Chelsea versus Man City matchup? Man City struggling with injuries at the back. They lost to Liverpool. They're sitting fourth in the EPL. After all the money spent, Chelsea's sitting in third. Your thoughts, Alex?
Result will depend on VAR.
Man City have some VAR to get back.
I'll let the VAR talk for me.
Chelsea fan, come on. Your thoughts on this matchup? Who you got, Chelsea?
Because I'm loyal, I would say Chelsea, but I see Manchester City coming out to avenge the loss versus Liverpool, and they're going to give Chelsea a whooping. I think Manchester City, I think Pep is going to right the ship, and he's going to right the ship with my team. So I see Manchester City giving Chelsea a 3-1 beating.
And Dalton Stewart on Facebook said, I hope Chelsea shit pop off piece of them, meaning that he hopes that Chelsea beat Manchester City. As we wrap up our show, Alex Frank, how about you let fans know how they can get in touch with you? I'm looking forward to come watch your games next year as we get ready for year 2 in the Atlanta SC outfit. How can people follow you on social media?
I would say the easiest would be on Instagram. If you can, I don't know if you have any way to share the name.
Yes.
I could send it to you, and
I'll post it on our platform, or you can just say it. No, either one.
Feel free to follow me or message me, and I will answer to any type of question with pleasure.
Yes. So you don't want to put out what is the Instagram connects, Alex?
The name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's it? Yeah.
It's Alesquinho7. That's why it's a bit hard to spell. That's why I
Okay.
wanted you to put it up.
We just spelled it. We just link it up on Instagram. Alexquinho7.
Okay.
And thank you so much for joining us, Alex. We really appreciate it. And I know we'll be touch basing more and talking as the upcoming season. Enjoy your Christmas break, man. You put some
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure. And if I can add one more word to all the listeners and the young players who want to make it to the pro level, just in my opinion, it's just about desire and passion. If you have this desire inside you, it's gonna drive you to the top. If you lose this flame and fire inside you, I mean, you don't have any more goal. And yeah. So follow it, never give up, and you'll have your reward one day.
Yeah. So stay committed to your goal at hand. Football fans, link us on social media. You can follow us at BallChat Podcast on Instagram, BallChat1 on Twitter, BallChat on Facebook. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Greetings, Flamengo. Looking forward to Copa Libertadores final.
And next week we're back to regular schedule. We're talking up our ballers and bugs. So get ready to talk about your ballers and bugs, with ballers representing Manchester United. Later.
Later, family, later. Thank you, Alex.
All right, come on. All right, Alex.
All right, thanks, Alex. Good luck.
Thank you. Come on. Nice to meet you.
All right, take care.